The sky over Vera 9 burned a strange orange hue, streaked with drifting clouds of ionized gas that sparked in the wind. On this remote colony, far from any human settlement, survival was a daily gamble. The planet's surface was a mosaic of jagged metal cliffs, sulfurous plains, and dense forests of crystalline flora, some of which glowed faintly in the dim light. Here only the strong or the clever could hope to endure. Kira stumbled through the underbrush, her breath ragged, chest burning with exhaustion. She had been running for days, fleeing from raiders, merciless scavengers who preyed on the helpless. There was nowhere to hide. Every structure she approached had been claimed, every safe zone infiltrated. Her only companions were shadows, whispers of wind, and the constant hum of Vera 9's dangerous wildlife. She had no place to go. Her mind raced. Every thought was consumed by fear, yet beneath the terror, a spark of determination refused to die. She would not allow herself to become another lost statistic, another victim swallowed by the endless dangers of this alien world. But she needed help, and she needed it soon. From a ridge above, she noticed movement. At first, she thought it was another predator, one of the massive six-limbed hunters that prowled these lands. But as she squinted, her eyes adjusting to the shifting light, she saw a human silhouette moving with purpose. Armor gleamed faintly under the strange glow of the sky, and in the figure's hands was a weapon unlike anything she had ever seen, a plasma rifle, humming softly. "Hey! Over here!" Kira called, waving frantically. Her voice cracked, half fear, half hope. The figure paused, scanning the terrain with cautious precision. After a tense moment, he approached, eyes sharp but not unkind. "You shouldn't be out here alone," he said, voice calm yet commanding. "Name?" "Kira." "Kira Vex," she said, voice trembling. "Please help me." The man knelt briefly, scanning her condition. "I'm Jaren. And you're in luck or misfortune depending on how you look at it. The raiders aren't far behind, but I can keep them busy." Kira felt a glimmer of relief. She had heard rumors of humans like Jaren, outsiders, warriors who ventured into the most dangerous zones and somehow survived. But now, standing before him, she realized the rumors didn't do justice to the reality. They moved swiftly through the alien forest, dodging crystalline thorns that could pierce armor and keeping low to avoid patrols of scavengers. Jaren's knowledge of the terrain was uncanny. He knew where the natural barriers were, how to avoid detection, and when to move silently. Kira clung to him, both physically and mentally, absorbing his methods while feeling a rare sense of security. By the time they reached a hidden alcove within a cliff face, the sky had deepened to a rich violet, stars beginning to sparkle through the gaps in the clouds. Jaren crouched, surveying the area before speaking. "You can rest here for a while. But I need to know. Why are you out alone? And why were the raiders after you?" Kira shook her head, her memories too painful, too tangled. I don't know why. They attacked my settlement. They took everything. I escaped, but..." Her voice faltered. "I have nowhere to go." Jaren studied her, then nodded slowly. "Then you come with me. There's a base nearby, a human outpost. You'll be safe there. For now." For Kira, those words felt almost unreal. A word she hadn't dared to think in weeks, not since her home was destroyed. The journey was perilous. Over the next days, they navigated toxic swamps, jumped across volcanic fissures, and evaded patrols of both raiders and the native predators, enormous creatures with armored hides and razor-sharp mandibles. Each step tested Kira's endurance, yet with Jaren at her side, she felt an unfamiliar resilience. He wasn't just guiding her. He was protecting her, anticipating danger before it struck, creating paths where none seemed possible. At night, under the twin moons of Vera 9, Kira finally dared to speak. "Why are you helping me? You barely know me." Jaren's eyes reflected the moonlight. "Because you need it. And because I can. Out here, survival isn't just about yourself. It's about helping those who can't help themselves. That's what makes a human stronger than any predator or raider." Kira studied him. There was no arrogance in his voice, only conviction. I don't know how to repay you." "You don't need to," he replied. "Just survive. That's enough." But over time, survival alone was no longer enough. As they drew closer to the human outpost, a sprawling structure of reinforced metal and domed energy shields, Kira realized she had begun to rely on Jaren for more than just protection. She admired his skill, his determination, his unwavering calm in the face of impossible odds. And despite herself, she had begun to trust him completely. Their approach was sudden. Raiders had caught wind of their path and were lying in ambush near the outpost. Jaren immediately took tactical positions, signaling Kira to stay low. The raiders advanced, armored and armed, but they had underestimated the humans' knowledge of the terrain. Jaren moved like a predator of his own, striking from the shadows, incapacitating enemies with precision, never wasting a shot. Kira found herself assisting, using small traps and knowledge of the terrain to slow the attackers, discovering in herself a courage she hadn't known existed. By the end of the skirmish, the raiders lay defeated or fleeing, their attack thwarted. Kira and Jaren entered the outpost, where other humans welcomed them cautiously, eyes wide at Kira's presence and Jaren's unscathed arrival. For the first time in weeks, Kira felt a sense of belonging. The outpost was secure, the humans here disciplined but welcoming. But more than that, she realized that her place was no longer just about shelter. It was about trust, companionship, and the bond that had formed between her and the man who had risked everything to save her. Days turned into weeks, and Kira adapted to life within the outpost. She learned to navigate the colony, assist in defense strategies, and contribute to survival efforts. But no matter how integrated she became, her attention always returned to Jaren. He was there on the patrols, always cautious, always protective, but never overbearing. And slowly, Kira recognized something she hadn't anticipated. In him she found a home, not a place but a person. One evening, as the sun of Vera 9 dipped below the horizon, painting the sky in streaks of red and violet, Kira approached Jaren while he maintained the perimeter. The air was calm, almost peaceful, a rarity on this volatile world. I want to thank you," she said softly, "for everything. For saving me, for showing me this place, for being you." Jaren looked at her, expression unreadable at first, then softened. "Kira, you've survived more than most humans ever could. You don't need me to make a home for you. You've already made one for yourself. I want you here, with me. If you'll have it." Her heart pounded. "Are you serious?" "I am," he said, voice steady. "No one should be alone out here. I don't want you to be. Not ever." In that moment, the barren, dangerous world of Vera 9 seemed less intimidating. Kira realized that safety wasn't just walls or barriers, or even victory over raiders or predators. It was the presence of someone willing to stand beside you when everything else is against you. I'll stay," she said finally, a smile breaking across her face. "I'll stay with you." The twin moons rose, casting silver light over the outpost. Around them, the colony hummed with life, secure behind its shields. But Kira knew the true safety lay not in structures, not in defenses, but in the bond she now shared with Jaren, A human who had turned a stranger into home, who had transformed fear into trust, despair into hope. As the nights and days passed on Vera 9, Kira and Jaren became inseparable, partners not only in survival but in life. They trained together, explored the uncharted regions of the planet, and helped expand the colony's reach. The dangers never disappeared. Raiders still prowled, predators still hunted, and the planet's volatile nature always threatened disaster. Yet none of it mattered because Kira had found what she had been searching for all along. Not just refuge, but belonging in the arms of the human who had claimed her as his own. And in a universe filled with chaos and danger, that bond between two humans against all odds was more powerful than any weapon, more enduring than any wall, and more valuable than any victory over monsters. Kira's journey from fear to hope, from isolation to belonging, had been shaped by courage, trust, and the unyielding spirit of humanity. And as she stood alongside Jaren, looking out over the alien landscape, she knew she was finally home.